just like the Hittites, we see the symbolism of lions. And this would have been the outer gateway to the citadel of Mycenae. So we have this much larger citadel than what we saw at Tyrene's. Massive structure. Really, it's, again, a town, administrative center, all of these things rolled into one. And here we have that lion gate. So this would have been the main entrance to the city. And really, they're trying to limit the entrances. Of course, anytime you have an opening in a wall, it's a weak point in terms of defensive fortification. What we're seeing is a wall primarily built of ashlar masonry, as we've seen elsewhere. And we see two monolithic jabs capped by this monolithic lintel creating the gate. And it's a very interesting structure. So there's some architecture going into this. First of all, here's our lions at the top. And you'll see it's in the form of a triangle. The purpose of this is to take all the weight of the walls, just like a relieving triangle, and push it off to the side. You don't want it pushing right on the lintel across the top, because of course that would put this bending force into it, and stone doesn't bend. To counteract that, the stone itself, the lintel, is actually curved upwards, much like pre-stressed concrete that you see on highway bridges today. The huge doors that would have been in here, these massive oak doors, would have swung inward because it's easier to defend with a pushing motion than it is to guard with a pulling motion. And then we have this corbel arch over the top that's taking, again, much of that weight off that jab. Now, lions were found in Europe. These are cave lions. We find their remains in the ancient world. By the time we get to the classical Greeks, for the most part, they are gone. And what we're seeing is the use again of that relieving triangle, that limestone surrounded by the stone around it. And we have these two massive lions, and they would have served the same purpose. They would have represented the city. They would have acted as propaganda. Perhaps mythically, they would have come to life should the need ever require. So very similar to what we saw from the Hittite lion gate. And that indicates that we're seeing some kind of cultural trade between the East and Greece, or at least Turkey and Greece, which isn't that far removed.